The invisible identity experiment. There is a strange shift that happens when identity disappears. Not physically, but visually. The moment a face is removed from an image, something fundamental changes. We stop asking, "Who is this?" and begin asking something deeper. What is left when identity is gone? In conceptual photography, this is not a loss. It is a reveal. Because identity often acts like a label that blocks perception. It tells the brain what to think before the eyes have finished seeing. So what happens when we remove it? We begin to see structure instead of story, form instead of name, presence instead of biography. A shoulder is no longer someone's shoulder. It becomes geometry. A posture becomes language without words. And suddenly, the human body stops being personal. It becomes universal. This is the invisible experiment. To remove everything that makes us recognize a person, and see if meaning still survives. It does, but it changes shape. Light becomes more important than expression. Shadow becomes more important than identity. Silence becomes part of composition. The viewer begins to project. Because there is no fixed story anymore. Some see strength, some see vulnerability, some see memory, some see nothing at all, until something slowly appears. And this is where the experiment becomes psychological. Because without identity, we are forced to confront our own way of seeing. The image no longer tells us what it is. It asks us what we are bringing into it. This is why invisible identity is so powerful in art. It removes certainty, and in that space of uncertainty, the viewer becomes part of the creation. Not as a spectator, but as a participant. Even nudity, in this context, is no longer about exposure. It becomes reduction, stripping away everything unnecessary until only essence remains. Not to reveal the body, but to reveal perception itself. And when nothing is left to identify, we begin to realize something unexpected. We were never only looking at others. We were also looking at ourselves. Because without identity, every human form becomes a mirror. Not of appearance, but of attention. And perhaps that is the true experiment. Not whether the body can exist without identity, but whether the viewer can still see meaning when identity is gone. And if they can, then nothing was ever truly invisible at all.